Bhutan is a sovereign, independent country in the eastern Himalayas. It is predominantly a Buddhist country following the teachings of the Dupa Kajupa of Mahayana Buddhism. The people of Bhutan are very religious, and religion plays an important part in the daily lives of the people. Bhutan in many ways is unique among countries in the world today because it has been able to preserve its environment and ecology, and as a result of which Bhutan can today boast of 72% of its area being mostly under virgin forests. A visitor can see the clear and unpolluted rivers and streams, the refreshing atmosphere, as well as the fact that there are no crowds on trekking paths or any traffic jams as compared to the other countries in the region and elsewhere. I would like to say that Bhutanese are a warm, friendly and hospitable people, and visitors coming to the kingdom feel very safe as well as welcome, and most of all at home in the Kingdom of Bhutan. I welcome you to Bhutan.
Winter is almost over, and it's time to move the yaks to the higher altitudes. It's also time to set up home in the windswept wilderness of the high mountains for the next 6 months till winter sets in, when they once again move to the lower regions to complete their nomadic cycle. For the yak herders, there is only hard work throughout the day. Leisure is something they snatch up between their chores. As evening falls, the yaks are herded into their pen. Family members sit around the fire while someone adept at the flute plays a traditional yak herder's tune. Morning over the mountains can be serene, a serenity which conveys the feeling of aloofness from the everyday business of living. Untouched by civilization, here one can meditate in peace and tranquility. These same mountains that preserved the uniqueness and individuality of the nation acted as a stumbling block in the way of progress. Before roads were constructed, it used to take more than a week to reach the capital, Thimphu, from the border town of Pinsuling. It now takes at the most about 5 hours. Today, Truk Air, the national airline, takes you over the scenic mountains from any of the international airports at Delhi, Kathmandu, Calcutta, Dhaka or Bangkok to Paro, the only airport in the kingdom. From the bustling cities of Bangkok, Delhi or Kathmandu, the visitor, within a matter of a few hours, lands into a pastoral life in the mid-Himalayan mountain valleys. Early spring sees peach trees in bloom. This is also the time when the mountains are a riot of color. These high mountains formed a natural border at one time and are the source of many lakes and rivers. The Kingdom of Bhutan is bordered by the autonomous region of Tibet in the north and the Indian states of Bengal and Assam in the south. Religion has exercised a profound influence in the lives of the Bhutanese and shaped the country's customs and tradition, culture, and its unique national identity. The advent of Buddhism in Bhutan is associated with the construction of the Kichu Lagang in Paro and Jambe Lagang in Bumtang in the 7th century. However, it was only after the visit of Guru Padmasambhava that Buddhism actually took firm root in the country 100 years later. Meditating here, the Guru left his body print, around which the original Kurji Lagang, the temple of body print, was built. From Bumtang, the Guru left for Paro. According to legends, he flew there on the back of a tiger and landed on a rock face above Paro Valley, and hence the name Taktsang, or the tiger's nest. Since then, religion provided spiritual cohesion for many centuries till the arrival of Shabdrung Ngawang Namgyel, who unified the nation under a central authority in the 17th century. A religious leader of the Drukpa Khajupa school of Buddhism, Shabdrung designed a dual system of intertwined religious and secular government. The religious affairs were administered by His Holiness the Jekempo, or the chief abbot, while the civil power vested with the Druk Desi. Shabdrung Ngawang Namgyel built many zongs, which served as the centers of administration and religion and continue to do so even today. The history of modern Bhutan begins in 1907 when Trongsa Penlop Sir Ugen Wangchu was unanimously elected as the first hereditary monarch of Bhutan by representatives of the monastic body, civil servants and the people. The reign of the second hereditary monarch, Jimmy Wangchu, is described as a period of unification and consolidation while maintaining friendly relations with the neighboring countries. This policy was further expanded and put into vigorous implementation during the reign of the third monarch, Jimmy Doji Wangchu. During his 20-year reign, Bhutan emerged as a modern nation. The policies of His Majesty the present King, Jimmy Singye Wangchu, can be summed up as the pursuit of gross national happiness. Bhutan today is a modern nation anchored firmly by her age-old cultural heritage and values, poised to step into the 21st century with ancient grit and confidence. The southern foothills rise steadily to the inner Himalayas. It is here that most of Bhutan's population is concentrated. Over 80% of Bhutan's population are dependent on agriculture for their livelihood, and rice is the staple food. Life in the village begins early with the burning of sang, an offering to the deities. After breakfast, the people are in the fields. In the high altitudes, wheat and barley are the main crops. What they grow should be enough to last them for the year. The excess is usually sold or bartered for other food grains. In the village, one has to be self-sufficient. Country life has its own charm. The midday meal takes on an atmosphere of a picnic as family members and neighbors sit down to enjoy lunch under the warm summer sun. Any stranger passing by is welcome to join them. For centuries, the high mountains in the north have been a natural barrier. These mountains are sacred as they are considered to be the abode of gods and goddesses. For example, Mount Chumulhari is believed to be the home of goddess Jomo. Under the shadows of these snow-clad mountains, yak herders tend their yaks, moving between the winter and summer pastures, their lives unchanged over the years. The yak is a useful animal. Its milk gives them butter and cheese, while yak hair is used to make robes, tents, and even clothes. The cheese, meat, and other items made from yak hair are exchanged for rice and other essentials from the lower valleys. The floral wealth includes the blue poppy, which is the national flower, rhododendrons, rare orchids, and medicinal plants. In ancient times, Bhutan was known as the land of the medicinal herbs. The fauna varies according to the different types of vegetation. The high mountains and the valleys offer a home to mountain goats, blue sheep, the elusive snow leopard, and takin, the national animal. Village life revolves around the seasons, punctuated by lighter moments such as these children singing in the evening. The climax of the village social life occurs during the Tsechu, the festival of sacred mass dances observed throughout the kingdom. Thousands come to watch it every year from far and near and to pay their respects to the Buddhist deities. It's also an occasion to socialize with friends and relatives. All Tsechus begin with the arrival of the head of the monk body. In Thimphu, His Holiness the J. Khenpo is escorted with a traditional procession. The tradition of Tsechu dances was established for the well-being of all sentient beings and is based on the biography of Guru Rinpoche, the precious teacher. The wrathful faces and postures of the dancers are meant to chase and ward off evil. The dancers purify and protect against demonic forces. The dancers proclaim the victory of Buddhism and the glory of Guru Rinpoche. The dances are in fact morality plays. This is the dance of the stag and the hounds, depicting how sage Milarepa converted hunter Gyumbudoji to Buddhism. The beginning is comical, and the hunter and his servant joke with the clowns. In the second part, sage Milarepa, singing a religious song, calms the stag and allays the temper and passion of the hounds. Gyumbudoji sees the stag and his hounds seated peacefully on either side of Milarepa and shoots at the sage. But his bow shatters and the arrow returns to him instead of hitting the sage. Milarepa then sings to Gyumbudoji and makes him realize his past misdeeds. The repentant Gyumbudoji becomes a follower of the Dharma. Tsechu is not just a pageant of dancers. In fact, it is a moment of dedication and prayer, a time of being blessed by watching it. Most Tsechus ends with a display of the Tongde, or a large tanka of Guru Rinpoche and his 8 manifestations. The guru, on whose biography this annual festival is based, is considered to be the second Buddha in Bhutan and the nation's patron saint. The chance to bow and offer prayers before it and touch it physically evoke a sense of reverence verging on ecstasy, as it is believed that the mere sight of it liberates from the cyclic existence. It is folded with great reverence and care before the sun's rays fall on it and is taken into the song in a traditional Chipte procession. So after a week-long festivity, which is also a moment of pious introspection, people once again return to the daily routine of their lives. Folk dances are very popular with the people and are performed on any occasion, especially during the archery matches. Archery is a national sport of Bhutan. It is played during the leisure time or on any special occasion, such as the New Year or other festivals. Playing archery comes naturally to the Bhutanese and is considered to be an art in itself. The interest in the game begins at an early age. Religious themes predominate all art forms. Rich in color and detail, they represent Bhutanese religious concepts, beliefs, and way of life. Creating a work of art is considered a religious obligation, an act of piety or worship. Consequently, all Bhutanese art is anonymous. The tradition of weaving is still a great art which is passed down from mother to daughter. The women of the family weave clothes for all members of the family. The zongs are mostly located on a mountain spur. Massive and elegant, the zongs are the best examples of Bhutanese architectural grandeur. A chutin is a place of worship. In it are deposited sacred relics and serves as a reminder to the people to follow the path of righteousness. Bhutan has a population of 600,000 and is made of three main ethnic groups. Of the Bhutanese people, George Bogle said in 1774, "The common people are good-humored, downright, and thoroughly trustworthy. They are strangers to falsehood and ingratitude." The dense forests of the south are a haven to many species of birds and animals. Bhutan has been declared one of the 10 hotspots for conservation of biological diversity. It is also home to the endangered golden langur.
Here we are in the beautiful kingdom of Bhutan, one of the first of a few kayaking expeditions and rafting expeditions to come into the country, and it's basically a pleasure to be here. We've been I'm with a distinguished group of kayakers who have kayaked all the way across the Himalayas. And it's very much a trip of a lifetime to be invited over to Bhutan. We found that by coming here, it's very different from Nepal, where there's been a lot of tourism within the country, and it's a privilege to come into a country that's not really had much impact from Western tourism.
Bhutan has a great potential for developing white water sport, and travel operators have already begun to promote it. Similarly, hot air ballooning has already been successfully attempted. All these prove that Bhutan has a tremendous potential for other adventure sports. But trekking is still the major outdoor adventure sport and provides a unique experience as the routes fall among the lesser traveled ones in the world. Sheer adventure would best describe trekking in Bhutan, as there are no comforts established en route as in other countries. But what Bhutan may lack in infrastructure development, it makes up for in support facilities. All parties are accompanied by a trained guide, a cook, a cooking assistant, and at least one horse. All provisions and belongings are carried by horses and yaks, and the trekkers rarely have to carry more than a day bag with cameras and films. Treks vary from short 3-day walks across relatively low altitudes to the 3-week snowman trek covering 356 kilometers. It includes 3 of the kingdom's highest passes. Hotel and tourist facilities are available not only in the major towns, but now in every part of the country. While guests are provided with continental or Chinese food, the daring ones could also sample the Bhutanese cuisine. One main feature of the Bhutanese dish is that they all contain hot chili peppers. 4 decades of development have been achieved in harmony with our natural heritage and nature. The unwanted side effects have been kept in check in Bhutan because of its cautious approach to development and the inherent pride of the Bhutanese in our own culture and tradition. The kingdom follows a policy of controlled tourism so that our natural environment and the unique way of life of the people are preserved. Yet visitors who trickle into the country can trek and feel the sheer pleasure of being the first person to walk along an untrodden mountain trail, enjoy the culture and the intriguing religious festivals, visit historical monuments, and sample the unparalleled Bhutanese hospitality. If ever there exists such a mythical land as Shangri-La, then Bhutan may be the one that comes closest to the description.